Okay, so what I've got on the table here is a Pūhā plant, P-U-H-A or P-U-W-H-A, Pūhā as it's known in other areas. What I've done with this Pūhā, so this Pūhā, the botanical name is Sonkus Kirki, and it's native to New Zealand. We do have other Pūhā that grows, it's more exotic, and it actually grows a lot quicker than this particular Pūhā, and because it grows quicker it actually outgrows this plant, and this plant fights to find the sun, so it's not actually surviving very well, so it's quite rare to come across this plant, and it is, I believe, becoming extinct. So what I do is I grow some of the plants to their full potential, to their full height, and then I let them go to seed, so they go to flower, then the flower will dry and then the seeds are inside, and I'll keep those seeds and I'll replant those to carry on with growing this particular Pūhā. And I like to work with this one because it is full of medicine. All Pūhā is full of medicine, but I just particularly like working with this variety. So what I've done is I've taken the leaves off, and this is what the leaves look like. So if you've ever tried Pūhā, you can eat it raw, you can eat the leaves raw, or you can boil them up. It's just like cooking spinach. Or you can have them in a salad, but what I'm doing here is I'm using them for their medicinal properties. So I've kept the leaves to the side, and I have already cut the stalk up, and I'm using the stalk. What I've done is I've put the stalk in a jar similar to this one. I've cut up the stalk into the jar and covered it with oil. And you can use a good quality oil if you want to. I usually use mine for skin, especially as a moisturizer, and it's really good for dry skin. It's a really earthy. It becomes a really earthy oil once the properties of the sap that's inside become infused into the oil, and yeah, it goes a different colour. It can become a dark green, or depending on what oil you use, it becomes thick with its properties, its medicinal properties. So I've done that to make an oil, and with that oil you can use it for anything. You can use it for, like I said, I use mine as a moisturiser, as a face cream. I'll also use it, it's really good for dry skin. So this time of year in the summer it is excellent because it cools the blood, and it removes heat from the blood as well. So rubbing it onto dry skin is excellent, and it's very similar to the properties of kupa or plantain. So a real earthy tone. So if you've got dry skin, this is ideal. So really good for rashes and burns, and of course it's an anti-inflammatory as well. So it's good to cool the blood. So what I've got in here is I've actually got the root of the Pūhā plant. So in the plant, the whole plant has medicinal properties, but the root actually holds the strongest medicine. So I've dug up the plant. I've had to, this is the only thing, when you use the root of the plant, you're actually killing the plant basically, but you're just letting it live on forever by using it as a medicine. So I don't use it too often, but when I do, I make a big batch. So here we've got the root in here, and this is the size of the root. So it's a really good root, and there's so much medicine in here that I can just tell that it's just freshly harvested, and the milk sap is still running when you cut into it, and it's the sap that holds all the properties. So I'll cut that up, put this into the jar. It'll probably come to about here with plant material. Then I will cover that, I'll just show you some. I will cover that with vodka. I use vodka. I think it's, what have I got? So I just use 37.5%. I use that and I just cover it. I'll just show you. And the reason I use vodka is because it has no flavour, it has no smell, it's easy to access. So I've got the plant in here, the material I'm covering. So that's what you would do, maybe a little bit more. So there's no plant properties coming up, so I'll cut that down so that everything is below the vodka. Then I would just seal it up, close it up, label it, the date that I just did this, what it is. So I'd put Pūhā root and put down tincture and the date, and then I would just put it in a cupboard and then just keep an eye on it and just keep it there for 6 weeks or longer. I usually just keep the material cooking, so to speak. I just keep it in there until I feel like it's ready to come out, and then I might put it in a bottle and then it's ready to go. So the tincture would be used internally, so a dropper full of something like that is really good for the stomach, it's really good for the liver, it's a great detoxer of the blood, so it purifies the blood, or assists to purify the blood. It just has so many good properties. It's an inflammatory, anti-inflammatory, so it cools the blood as well. This is really going to be a very strong medicine with using the root, so you wouldn't need much, but it's for severe conditions, I suppose. Anyone that's in pain and has inflammation, this is really good because it will cool the blood, it will cool the body, which, you know, inflammation is heat, so you want to cool that so that there is no, so it reduces the inflammation. So there you go. Did I show you the root? I'm very excited about that. This is how thick the stalk is. I let it grow to full potential, so it might have been a few months. I think I planted that in, it might have been 3 months ago, so it might have been around August, September, might have been August, so about 3 or 4 months, and just for the purpose of allowing it to grow to full potential, where I was going to use the whole plant, use the seeds to be able to reseed and repropagate the Pūhā plant. And so the leaves, these are very bitter. You can have them in a salad, you can boil them, you can steam them, you can eat them, and it's so good. This is the wonder plant, the wonder herb that you've just got to get to enjoy using. You can find it anywhere, or grow your own, just, yeah. And here is the tincture 6 weeks later, and as you can see, I still have the material in there, and look at that glorious colour. That is the medicinal properties of Pūhā. Isn't that glorious?